This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Super Squad D Late Night. I assume this is broadcasting on Super Squad D. I think that's the last channel I logged in under. I really honestly don't know. My name is Joseph Craven. I'm your host. Tyler Blunt is no longer with us. By that I mean he's in bed. That's it. He went to sleep early. So I'm joined by friends of the show, M. Scotter and Chad Bro Chill, Alex Level. Gentlemen, I'll start with you, Scott. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. Lots
Good.
of hunting going on.
Alex, how are you?
I'm fine, and I'm dandy.
Yes. Welcome to Monster Hunter World. This is my gorgeous mustached creation, along with his Palico companion, Booger the Cat. We're going to be doing some hunting whether or not anyone shows up to this broadcast. First of all, I need to make sure that the PlayStation camera is not showing up in the broadcast. I need to fix this. Oh, well, you know what? The PlayStation camera isn't plugged into the PlayStation. That might solve some issues here, kids. Alright. Come on now. There we go. There we go. Oh. We're gonna just assume that. Oh, there it is. I'm in this now. Okay. Now we are being broadcast. Now we are live. I love it. Gentlemen, do one of you want to post a quest? Would you like me to?
Yeah, I'll see what I got.
One of you two can, because I'm in cutscene lane right now.
Cutscene City! It's a good night. It's a good night. What all have we been talking about? We've been talking about Alex's love of Persona 5.
And the franchise in general.
I don't think so. I really think you only like the one game. Because I personally have played every single one of them and have a tattoo related to the game series. And you, on the other hand, have only played Persona 5 because I got you a Dutch copy as a gift.
Yes.
I think all of that's undeniably true, and it's definitely not the other way around.
Not in any way.
Not in any way the other way around. Alex, what was the first Persona game you played?
5, actually. So that was when I jumped in right there, and then fell in love and went and played all the other ones.
Wow, so it made that much of an impact in your life, like, instantly.
Yeah, like as soon as it got going, as soon as the intro came in, I was like, this is awesome. And then the further I got into it, I was like, this game is spectacular.
Have you always been an anime fan?
Yeah, I've kind of gone in spurts of like watching it and then not watching it, but I had
Haven't we all?
back into it. Yeah. And I'd gotten back into it like 8 months before Persona came out, and everything I saw about it was like, this looks like I'm gonna really like this, but I had no idea how much I would like it.
Me either. Like, I was joking about it, but you were the one who bought me a copy as a gift. Because you were like, you will like this game. And I was like, whatever, bro. And then I played it and like instantly was like, okay, no, I really like this game. And I gotta say, like, it absolutely was like instantly amazing.
Yeah.
Instantly drew me in. Instantly was like, oh man, this is... I don't know. Yeah, it was really good. I'm checking the audio real quick. Did one of you post a quest yet?
I did, yeah. We're hunting a high-ranked Toby Keith.
High-ranked Toby Keith. I like it. I like it a lot. Here we go. We got 2 people allegedly watching. I'll believe it when I see that. Audio seems to be good. Hey Scott, say something so I know that your audio is coming through.
Hello. This is Scott Anderson.
Oh yeah, it's coming through. But now everyone knows that your last name is Anderson, a totally uncommon American last name.
People are gonna find Scott Anderson online and just assume that person's me.
How many Scott Andersons are on the internet? Be honest with me.
Actually, I think Michael Anderson is probably like way more popular because Michael is a very common name.
That's what the M stands for in your name, M. Scott?
Yes.
Because I just assumed
Scott.
it was always just an M. Scott. And that it didn't stand for anything. Like your first name was an M and a dot, and your name was M. Scott.
I think half of Belhaven thinks that.
Half of Belhaven. For anyone tuning into this broadcast that's unfamiliar with what Belhaven is, it is a brewery located in Scotland.
Scotland?
I think that's it. The Scotland.
Yep. And everyone there thinks my name is M.
Yep.
Just the letter.
Hey, speaking of Scott, why don't you just join this quest so we actually have something to do?
I'm sorry.
Please.
I'm coming back from my expedition, and I will be joining you very shortly.
Coming back from an expedition. That means you went to the restroom.
No.
Don't lie to me. We've got multitudes of viewers here, so don't lie to me.
What is Toby Keith dislike?
Oh
Water.
yeah, I should change that. Toby Keith hates water.
Okay.
I am currently holding an electricity sword, and so as it turns out, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, that's what he's made of entirely.
He's actually going to get more powerful if I
Yeah.
use that sword. If you're watching the video, say hello. If you're watching the video after it's posted and it's no longer live, then this is me saying hello to you right now. Do you guys like that? That's good. Felt good about that. Whew. Scott, do you watch much anime?
I was big into anime in high school. Not high school, in college.
Why would you lie about this? It's almost as if you have something to hide.
No, I didn't start watching anime until I was in college when I was introduced to Cowboy Bebop and when Adult Swim was showing that at the time.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm gonna change something in my house real quick.
It's on tonight in 4 hours, 5 hours. It's on at like 3:30 a.m. So.
Oh really?
If you want to throw back.
Cowboy Bebop is?
They re-added it to the Toonami lineup. I'm fairly
That is
certain.
awesome.
Nice.
That is really
But
good.
it's
I didn't like
on
being
super-
backlit. I was being pretty backlit right here. Oh, this is much better. That's really cool. Here's something that I've always been ashamed to admit. But Alex knows it. I did not watch all of Cowboy Bebop until just very recently.
Oh really?
Yep. I somehow missed it. Well, I didn't miss it. I watched a few episodes, again, like on Toonami or whatever. I would watch some episodes and go, oh man, like that's good. I can get into this. Of course, I love the theme song, one of the best theme songs of any TV show I've ever heard. But I never actually sat down and watched the whole series start to finish until, I mean, it was within the past year, I know that much. It might have been earlier this year, I don't remember.
I think it was last year because I remember us talking about it.
Yeah. I know I lived in this house where I'm broadcasting from right now. But that's all I remember. Boyos, I pulled out the bagpipes for this fight.
Love it.
Yeah, so it was Cowboy Bebop. I liked Trigun. They were also showing that at the time.
Yeah.
And then I started randomly buying anime DVDs.
Okay.
So I have a very strange collection of different types of anime.
I like it.
Yeah.
Like what? What do you think is the strangest thing in your collection?
Cromartie High School by far. It is each episode is about 15 minutes
Okay.
long, and it's about a reform school where everybody is apparently this very tough guy. They all say they're tough, but no one's really tough, and some of the students include a gorilla and a robot and Freddie Mercury. And
Wait, and Freddie Mercury?
yes,
I can see why there was no hesitation. To the question.
yeah. And when there's actually a live action version of it too.
Of course there is. Does Remy Malek play Freddie Mercury in this one as well?
No.
That's a missed opportunity, I'd say.
Well, I think the movie came out probably at least maybe 10 years ago. Possibly.
Interesting. So Remy Malek was just a gleam in his mother's eye at that point in time.
Right.
Oh no, he was too busy being the Pharaoh from American Beauty.
Oh yeah, that's what he did. I forgot about that. I honestly had like no real idea what he did with his career before Mr. Robot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was that.
Yep, it was not an easy one. Let me give you guys a little health boost. Look at that.
It's good. Spot on.
Thank you guys for your support of local music. You guys remember when Toby Keith was like the hardest monster to fight and we hated fighting him?
You know, this has been a lot for you.
Yeah, and now we're over here just like destroying him. Like his pattern is so easy. It's like, oh, he's gonna glide at some point. Just wait till he's not doing that anymore.
I don't like his, I'm gonna climb up the tree and then jump on down. Little maneuver.
It's a good one. Is he leaving? He's leaving. Hey, I think there was some material over here.
Ooh.
You guys were lacking some of that. Scott, what's your favorite anime that you've ever watched? Okay, no, first of all, first question. Like, how many animes do you think you've watched in your lifetime?
It's not a huge number.
Okay.
It would be,
Working with a small sample.
yeah.
That's good. That's fine. I like it. What do you
I think
think
off
is
the
your
top
is
of
your
my head.
Okay, what's your favorite then? Oh god. Okay, excuse us.
Oh no.
That's fine. He doesn't care.
He didn't seem to notice us.
He's just doing his own thing. Did he?
Yeah, it's repetitive, but it's very much classic. It's Cowboy Bebop or
Yeah.
Trigun. Really, those two. I really haven't seen anything that I would say surpass those two.
Totally fair. There's some of the. I think those are two of the ones that really define anime as a whole for Americans, and especially Americans of our generation. So I feel like those of us that are in our, 20s and 30s now, Alex being the baby in this conversation at the ripe old age of, what are you now, Alex? 19 years old?
I'm 11.
With him being an actual baby, but like, just so much need for potion in my life right now. I feel like that's what we did. Now, obviously, some of that is like, you look at what was available to us, and it pretty much was just whatever was on Toonami. So it was Dragon Ball Z, and it was, you know, Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, and then a little bit later on, you had some other stuff. But that was pretty much it. You had Sailor Moon. Tyler's favorite show of all time, Sailor Moon. These guys are just getting after it. Let's see if I can watch. So it makes sense that those are the ones that really stand out in our minds, because those were the ones that we had, but also the ones that really were widespread and like everyone had access to them as far as anime go.
Yeah.
Alex, how many animes, like as far as whole series go, do you think you've watched in your life?
I'm not really sure.
Upwards of 7,000?
Somewhere around there.
If we had to estimate.
Yeah, if I could put like a rough estimate, 7,000 at least. And it's been quite a few.
Because it seems like something that you have more experience with than either me or Scott. Like, I've watched a decent amount of anime, but I know that I've never been like an anime buff. Like, I'd never claimed that about my life. There's a few things I would claim to know a lot about. You know, 1990s professional basketball. I would claim to know a lot about that. But you talk to me about anime, and I'm like, well, I know a decent amount, but I probably haven't watched nearly as much as I should have at this point in my life. So I feel like you're the one who kind of knows more. So what's your...
I would agree with that, but I haven't seen as many as a lot of people have, so I will say that. But most of the time, if I'm watching something now...
Because you're one of the few people I know of that has the, like a streaming subscription to anime services, right?
Yeah, I got the Funimation thing. It's like $5. Great deal if you watch it there now.
And I did not realize it was that cheap.
It's got dubs, which, everybody says dubs are better, but I'm here to watch, I'm not here to read.
I'm fully on that.
Yep.
On that side of the conversation.
Same here, except I'll admit, I actually watch Netflix with subtitles. But, you know, honestly, most of that is because I watched Peaky Blinders, and you have to watch subtitles of that show. There's no way to understand what anyone's saying otherwise. It's all from Birmingham. Got the Birmingham accent.
Yeah, and there's some that I'll watch with subs because there is no dub yet, but
yeah,
still
like for example the Persona 5 animation, which kind of brings us back to the beginning of the conversation, but that's out and it's only subs right now.
So if you played that game and you want the anime, let Atlas know.
Atlas has phenomenal customer support, by the way. I know this from personal experience, having contacted them about a strange issue. Being that for whatever reason I own a Dutch copy of Persona 5. Personal reasons I don't want to get into on the broadcast, and definitely didn't talk about, 20 minutes earlier. But I contacted them about how I could access DLC on my North American account, but with the Dutch game, and they actually helped me figure out how to work around Sony's region lock. Oh, I was like, I don't know why you're doing this for me, random Atlas employee, but I like you because of that. Alex, what in your opinion makes a good anime? 'Cause I feel like there's a distinctly different style of storytelling in like the eastern part of the world compared to the western part of the world. You know, like, and I feel like sometimes there's some things that translate well, and there's some things that don't. But what in your mind stands out as like what you look for or appreciate?
What the heck is that?
Is that a? Oh, is that friggin'?
Hey, we found it.
What?
That's Devil Joe's.
Man,
What is this douchebag doing here?
To get back to your question, I'm always partial to the ones, I think the ones that are my favorite are the ones that balance like the really serious and also like extremely goofy, lighthearted together.
Yeah.
Series. Talk about it again.
Very true.
That is really deep. There's so much going on, and then it's just goofy and nonsensical and hilarious.
That's dang, this guy is tearing Toby Keith apart right now.
It really is. And that's I don't know if y'all have heard of the show Code Keith. That it's along the same line. Pretty serious stuff going on. Pretty serious stuff with that. Actually, drama in a funny way.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the fact that this entire fight has devolved into just watching Devilos just toss Toby Keith around.
Yeah.
oh wow.
Oh, come on.
That was not cool at all.
Okay, so this dude is seriously using another monster as a weapon right now, and he honestly just defeated Scott. Just that's awesome.
Toby Keith. Like Toby Keith has a skull. This. Oh.
Did he finish him?
Yep, he finished him off.
He's still attacking him too.
Yep, and he is not done yet.
We are not going to get any of these parts.
No, we're good. He's leaving now. He knows that our mission's complete. He's going. You guys going to camp or to base?
I'm gonna try and come to him, see if I can get any of this. Oh, you mean, okay.
I think I'm going back to base.
Okay, that works for me too.
What
I think
just happened?
I don't know. That was the most incredible finish to a fight. Seriously, the last, I don't know, like 2 minutes of the fight was Devilos just like grabbing him, slamming him against things, and then throwing him, and that's what killed him. That was incredible. Going back to the anime thing, I think that there's a lot of, I mean, maybe the most defining anime, or at least movie, animated Japanese movie of, you know, the past 40 years or whatever it is like Akira, right? Like, I feel like that was the one that really had a lot of respect and traction in the States as far as popularity. So much so that they did like a redub in the early 2000s or whatever. But that's like just the serious.
Right.
And then what really caught on after that was, like, Akira was just the serious, and for being an action show, Dragon Ball Z was much more on the comedic and goofy end of the spectrum. And that's like the most popular, I feel like, of our generation. And then you kind of had right in the middle is where you had Cowboy Bebop, Trigun. What else was really defining of like the 90s and early 2000s though?
I think Yu Yu Hakusho was pretty big.
Yu Yu Hakusho, that's right.
It's grip and rip. It's like all the good parts of Dragon Ball Z, but without all the filler episodes.
Which says something, because there were a lot of those.
Yeah.
I love the show. I would race home from school and watch it, you know, every afternoon. But my goodness, even back then we were making fun of the fact that it was like, well, here's another filler episode.
Yeah.
Here's another super move that takes a week and a half to charge, you know. I think that's why Cowboy Bebop and Trigun, though, really resonate with us, because they both were... Trigun in particular started off really goofy, and then you get about halfway through the series and you realize, oh my gosh, this is incredibly serious. Cowboy Bebop did a little bit more of blending it all throughout, like, the beginning and on, but they both did that very well. They navigated it very well, and you don't see that as much. You see, like, my favorite comedy show of all time, regardless of where it's from, is Scrubs. I love Scrubs. And one of the reasons why I love the show Scrubs is because it did that. It was very funny, but then when it had a serious moment, like, it resonated with you, you know? It wasn't just a serious moment just to be serious. It was a serious moment that was gripping and, like, honestly made you feel sad, or honestly made you feel like, you know, really tied to whatever was happening at the time. And that's what you kind of got with... That's why I love Trigun so much. I think it's my favorite of all time because, you know, it's this cool little, like, conflict of family conflict, or you got, like, this redemption story going on as well with this, you know, awesome preacher character. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I tried to say that like I was trying not to spoil anything out of an anime that's, what, 25 years old? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you guys haven't seen it, just get off this video and go watch Trigun already.
Go watch it.
Alright, who's going to post the next quest?
Sorry, I was talking to somebody.
Was it us? Were you talking to the two of us? Because that's pretty cool.
No, it was the one that, it was the lady that makes potions. She had a
I know who she
exclamation
is.
point on her head.
I know who she is. Exclamation point lady. We all know her. Be right back, gentlemen, and live stream. Give me just a moment. What are we talking about? What's happening?
How we've been stuck on the same weapons for a really long time. I got you.
Yeah, but now I'll have a lot of them on my screen that I can upgrade to now.
Hey, I'm gonna
I mean, I
post
need
a
to get
quest.
all the parts.
Wait.
But-
Hey, what are your hunter ranks? I need to know this.
I'm at 12.
I'm probably also at 12.
Shoot. Okay. Cancel that quest. That quest was a 13 quest.
Yep, 12.
That's fine. There we go. I got it now. We're gonna do an arena because I love arena quests.
Who are we fighting?
High rank Anjanath.
All right.
I'm sure that's very exciting for everyone involved. Scott, what's been your least favorite monster in this game so far?
My least favorite monster in this game, I would say, he's like just water. Probably the Odagaron, I think.
Odagaron, as I call him?
Yeah, Odagaron. Oh no, Diablos. I think Diablos is probably.
Yeah, Diablos is a jerk.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate Diablos.
Both of those have been tough to play against on my own. So
Diablos,
I don't really like going up against them.
Diablos isn't like a terrible, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like his routine. It isn't hard to figure out, you know? But it doesn't matter because like when he hits you, he does so much damage.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. Yeah, I hate Diablo.
Also, like it depends. Like you can't really get up close to him either.
No.
'Cause he's in the air, or if he's not in the air, he's dug underground. And it's I don't like it whenever I can't get. I'm not a big fan of the ones that can fly.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Old Bar Nerds. I don't remember what this is called, actually. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I texted a friend of mine what it was called. I'm going to figure this out. Old Bardstown. I was pretty close. Started with a B. Along with a small batch distillery out of Atlanta called Coca-Cola.
Oh, those microbrews.
Exactly. Scott, what weapon do you use?
I use the dual blades. I'm a dual blader.
Why do you use dual blades? What drew you to that?
I typically like hitting fast over damage. I'd rather hit more times with lower numbers than get one hit in with like a great big number.
That brings up a good point. Scott, you and I played Dungeons and Dragons together for about a year before
Yes.
I decided that I was above all that and quit. But you played as a well, what did Daewin start as? Because your character's name was Daewin.
Yeah, my character's Daewin. We are actually still playing the game without you, unfortunately.
Yes. No, yeah, so it's still going on. I just want to point out when I say that I quit because I'm above all that, I meant it. That, like, I just literally stopped going and the D&D group is still playing. And I'm the worst. But anyway, Daewin was a ranger at first, right? Or something like that?
No, well, no, he was a rogue. He's
Rogue,
always been
that's
a
what
rogue.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, my first weapon that I used with him was a bow. Like, he was mostly a ranged attacker.
That's true.
So, he wasn't that far from a ranger. And then I made him, whenever we come to the subclasses, I made him into a thief.
Yes.
I wasn't sure about magic in the game, but after seeing other
Now, you weren't sure
players,
in that, like, you weren't sure in that you weren't sure that's where you wanted to go with it, or you weren't sure, like, I don't know if magic is right. Like, you weren't going to raise your kids, your D&D kids, to go down that route.
Yeah.
Right, that's it. Yeah. It's an important question, man. This is role playing, and we were serious about our roles. My character didn't speak to Scott's character for like months because he got mad at him about something. Mainly that Scott looted a dead friend of ours. I just want to throw that out there now that we're...
Alright, are we going to start getting all into that? Are we sure?
I'm sorry. Anyway, what were, you were saying something.
In my defense, even though I looted her body and I did put everything I looted from her body right underneath her corpse as she burns for eternity on the moon.
That's right. We were on the moon. That was a weird game.
It's a very weird game. No, but yeah, about Magic, it was mostly the game mechanics that I just was not comfortable with. I didn't quite fully understand how it felt. Sorry.
Yeah, I see that you don't fully understand that I'm on your team here.
Well, you know, when Titus starts raving, he likes to rave.
Understandable. I'm sorry for even getting in his way. That's more on me than it is on you.
But yeah, so then I quickly redid Day One into an Arcane.
I'm just gonna point this out real quick. Alex, you mount more creatures than any other player I've ever seen in this game.
It's almost fun.
I know it is, but like you, the rest of us never get the chance to do it because you're always in the act of mounting creatures.
I think now they've added where each person gets a mount. Although when we were fighting Toby Keith, it let me mount him twice. I don't really know how that happened.
Yeah, you're still the only player I've ever seen to mount a monster multiple times in one fight. So,
I go for that.
This dude is just trying to scratch his neck on the ground, it looks like. And then I went underneath him.
Oh, hey, boulders. You still there?
He's not really in the center, so...
Really close.
So when Scott and I were playing D&D together, I played as a monk who was purposefully like bad at being a monk. Like my entire backstory that I had created, that I had prepared in case it ever came up, but also I had created a character who never wanted to talk about himself, so it would never come up. But his entire backstory was that he was basically a thug and got in a lot of like bar fights. I would refer to him as Winfield the bar fight monk. And that he decided to become a monk to give up on that former lifestyle. That he was always really bad. Nice boulders. That was the whole thing. But anyway, so I was a monk, and I really enjoyed it because I like punching stuff. And there was this one particular monk ability that I had, in which I would like roll a handful of what's that roll? Was it like I had to roll above a certain amount on a D20, I think. Or maybe like I rolled a couple of D20s or D6s or something, and someone else rolled a different amount. Like the dungeon master had to like roll higher than me. And basically, if the dungeon master rolled higher than me, then like, oh, that's what it was. I rolled a D20, and then I rolled like 4 D6s. And if the dungeon master rolled higher than me, well, then the monster took half of what I rolled on those like 4 D6s. But if I happen to get higher, oh no, come on, Titus. If I happen to get higher than the dungeon master, then I would do like all the damage on like the D6s that I rolled, and also the other, like the monster would be knocked down and like stunned for several turns or some nonsense. And I tried it several times, and it always failed. That was like the entire joke around my character, is that every time I tried to do anything monk related, it failed. If I tried to be agile and jump over some obstacle, it failed, and I jumped into the obstacle. You know, that sort of stuff. And it was hilarious because it made sense. My character was supposed to be really bad at being a monk. And then the only time that it ever worked was right when we were fighting the final boss of our campaign, which was like an evil deity. And it was the only time it ever worked. And I actually did full damage and basically like took down like half of the creature's life. I was so satisfied with myself.
Oh, we have.
Didn't like that. Didn't like it one bit. Oh boy.
You like that flash pod, huh? How much weapon do you use? I use fancy axe? Which,
Yeah.
what does that do? Why do you like that?
Well, I used to use the sword blade, and I'm probably going to start making a review of one of those, but I like that you go between heavy booming and fast sword play without sacrificing damage. So I really I wanted to like the daggers, but I didn't feel like I was dealing enough damage with them. And I just like the way the attack combos work with that. Like they just seem really cool with the animation. Like I can do this wild waving circle forever.
I've heard a lot of good things from different Monster Hunter players and Facebook groups and whatnot that I'm a part of about the Switch Axe being one of their favorite weapons.
It's great, and I feel like a lot of times with the charge blade, there'll be times where you can't inflict any damage with the sword part, and you have to switch to the axe. But it's too often. You should be able to do more with the sword.
Alright, nicely done. I haven't ever used it. I pretty much stick with, if I want to do damage, I do the long sword. And if I'm in a buffing mood and it makes sense, I play my bagpipe. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like I'm pretty good with the pipe.
You are certainly helping us quite a bit. Big old buff.
I'm not using it in this fight because it's an arena. Why would I sit around trying to buff in an arena? You know? Hey, I can eat again, guys. I'm glad this worked out for all of us. And this high-ranked agent has some help on him. Nope, never mind, he said, wow. my bad. My bad. That backfired on me. Oh, man.
My eye started tearing up during that game.
Oh, did you feel an emotional connection to that engine app?
It was. No, I think I have allergies that
To the engine app?
that just. Yeah, I'm allergic to the engine.
Thank you. I'll just tie it in the engine app somehow, Scott. Help me out.
So my eye was closed for half that battle.
Mine too, but mostly because of fatigue. I've been worked a solid 12-hour day today.
It's always fun to do on a Saturday.
I know, right? I'm over here rejoicing because I don't have to go to work until noon tomorrow. Let's see. In case anyone is curious, I've been playing a mobile app game recently called Endless Frontier.
I've heard of that.
It's like
What kind of
But I
game?
don't know what to do.
Well, it's kind of RPG-esque in that like you. Well, no, it's more like a MOBA game, where you're trying to fight through a battlefield and claim, you know, the enemy's tower or whatever.
Mhm.
It's like that, but like you don't control your units directly. You control like the strengthening and growing of your army by collecting resources and like artifacts and defeating enemies and everything. So it kind of plays itself like as you're not paying attention, and then you try to log in and improve your army and whatnot. But in these days like today, where I'm running lights for an event because that's what I do for a living, but there's not a whole lot for me to do in the meantime. There's a lot of done. It's great to just like plug my phone up and like have it going with this game going and have like all my soldiers marching along and be like, yep, don't have to do anything, just doing my job. But it's definitely one of the more addicting app games that I've played in a while.
Yeah, I just downloaded a game called Hustle Castle.
I've seen ads for that.
Yeah, it looks real stupid.
Yes,
It
that's what I
has
thought
that.
about when I saw the ads.
It has that Family Guy, American Dad kind of
Yep.
art style to it.
Yep.
So I mostly was like, I'm not really interested in it. But then I looked at it, and it's kind of like the Fallout mobile game.
Yep, which is one of my favorites, and I still play it pretty frequently.
Well, in this game, you build a tower, a castle that is just pretty much just like a vault, in the same ways. Like, it's pretty much a ripoff of the Fallout game. And
Which
then,
was a ripoff
you take-
of oh, somebody help me out. There was some sort
Oh,
of
I
like
don't know.
hotel game, I think. Was like a tower building game just like that, and Fallout Shelter was
Okay.
basically just a ripoff of that, I think.
Well, this is also another ripoff of both of those. And then you take your knights and you basically make them ready for battle, and then you take them to a battle and you watch them fight one another. And hopefully you've made them in a way that they defeat the other team.
Hopefully, yeah. I really love Fallout Shelter. Part of that being I have an unhealthy obsession with Fallout in general. And part of that being I just really enjoyed the way, like, it was a well-crafted little tower construction game, you know? Oop, I burped. You guys want me to post another one? Or any... Do y'all have anything good?
I have a Tizzy Yaku.
Tzatziki sauce.
Yeah, Tzatziki sauce. Okay. It's a level 6. I mean, it's a 6-star quest.
I think I have the same thing. Say cheese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that one.
That'd be a good one. We can do that one. I have a quest to hunt a pink Raytheon if you guys are into that. Man, I wish you guys were one more hunter rank. That's all I
Yeah, I think we need to do that. Gotta find Nergigante and fight him before we could do that.
Yeah, that's pretty much as far as I've gotten. I wish you guys, either of you have the mission the special assignment to fight Devil Jose?
I do.
It's called
I saw. Wait, where would it be? Is it an optional?
No, it's called a special assignment. They add it to the bottom of the list once you get it.
Hold on, I'm gonna undo my quest real quick.
So you get
No,
it.
I don't have the special assignment.
Okay.
No, not yet. Although there was this part where I was looking at. There were some people talking about the Devil Joe.
Yeah, it's definitely showing up at your point in the game. Like, it's there, and you're finding tracks for it.
Uh-huh.
But it is not... once you find those tracks, it becomes a special assignment. It's not like a required assigned story mission. It's a special assignment. So.
I see.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, I think it unlocked those for me when we had that one kill the Toby Keith for us.
Yeah, I wonder if I had talked to those people before, because there was a group of people before, just talking about the Devil Joe, and then right after we had seen him.
Old Devil Joe. What a guy.
Oh wait. Thunder or ice for this guy?
Thunder or ice? That's a good sign. Because I've been listening to some friggin' Imagine Dragons. And I got Thunder. Thunder and the lightning. Are those the lyrics? I don't know. I don't actually listen to Imagine Dragons. My younger brother and I have this entire conversation that's like ongoing, where we're trying to figure out like how and why Imagine Dragons are popular, but also how and why we don't like them as a band. And we really can't figure out either way. Hello to Crypto, who just commented in the live chat. How are you, Crypto? They didn't mean you guys had to shut up just because I said hi to someone else.
Well, I was still thinking about the Imagine Dragons thing because I feel the same way. I don't get it, and I also don't like them.
Yeah, like they're popular, and I can kind of understand why in some elements, because like for example, there's a couple of songs of theirs that I'm okay with. They're like "On Top of the World" that was on one of the FIFA soundtracks.
It was on FIFA and PES. That's
Wow.
how good the song was.
Wow.
Breaking
Oh,
down
Crypto
barriers.
went to prom. Crypto, where'd you go to prom? You know, you don't have to answer that. It's kind of a personal question. How was prom? That's really the question there.
Yeah, I hope it was a blast.
I hope it was great. Yeah, it was on FIFA, and I remember going, "That's pretty cool." And then like Radioactive was really popular, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that one. But anyway, Alex, Scott, did you guys go to prom when you were in high school,
I went to my senior prom.
or when you were out of high school either?
I went to my senior prom, but most of the prom we spent at an Italian restaurant, and then
That
we
seems
actually
like a
went
prom
to the
thing to
prom.
do. Oh man.
It was like 5 hours at the Italian restaurant, and then 30 minutes at the actual dance.
I feel like that's how a lot of people's proms went. Crypto's prom was
so-
awesome until his aunt went to the hospital. Man, that sucks.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Jeez. Yeah, I hope your aunt is okay. I hope your aunt is okay. I've had some family members that were recently in the hospital. Actually, I have a cousin who went to the hospital. Well, she was pregnant, but she's in like her late 40s. So she went to the hospital because the doctors were just like, kid's wanting to come already. It was kind of premature. But that baby is healthy and looking good. So that's exciting. Wait, Alex, does your high school have proms? What did they have?
Yeah, so I went to prom junior year and senior year. And junior year, we were supposed to be one of those groups that goes to an Italian restaurant for a long time, but they gave away our reservations, so they didn't sign.
Not gonna lie, that sounds like a great way to end the night.
No, this was to start the night.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
But it was great. We all got slushes, cheeseburgers, pie.
Well, my high school, I went to a high school with a graduating class of 13 people. So, yeah, it wasn't exactly big time. So we didn't have, what we had we didn't call prom. I don't really know why. I could never figure out why it is that we didn't call it prom, but we had a banquet. And I want to say the reason that we didn't call it prom is because like we had so few people that we pretty much just tried to rent out like a nice place that also would cater a meal, and kind of just did the meal and then all like the dancing and partying together.
Right.
And of course I went to a very tiny private school, as you can probably figure out. And my senior year, I asked a friend of mine out, not out, but I asked a friend of mine to be my date to this banquet, who went to the local giant high school, public high school. And like as soon as I asked her to come to the banquet with me, she went and was voted prom queen of that giant public high school. Yeah, and so and she was not the type of person who cared about that. She was kind of embarrassed by the fact that she was voted prom queen. And so, needless to say, we made fun of her for it the entire night, and I think she's doing well these days. We don't talk much, probably because I made fun of her for being prom queen. Yeah. Crypto's asking how Monster Hunter is. He's thinking about getting it. I don't know about you two, but first of all, look, when did we buy it? We all bought this game pretty much at the same time, didn't we? Just a few weeks ago. And my assessment of it is, I mean, it's great. I really enjoy I really enjoy like how detailed the fights are, and that like you can't just like blindly rush in. Like you have to try to like know what the monster's weakness is, and you have to kind of be prepared. But more than anything else, I really like the social fighting of it all.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I don't play it unless we're all on together.
Yeah, it's a great multiplayer game. So Crypto, Prom King Crypto over here. I would say this is a phenomenal game if you've got a group of friends who will routinely play it with you. The three of us play a lot together, and then we have a fourth guy, Tyler, who I normally run this YouTube channel with, but cannot join tonight because, well, quite honestly, I don't blame him. His wife is currently out of town, and apparently his kid went to sleep pretty quickly. So he just went to bed. I can't blame him for that.
No, you can't.
No.
Take it that
Yeah. but I love it. What I really like about this game also is the gathering and like construction of better equipment, armor and weapons and whatnot. Like, you're not limited to playing with one weapon style, you know? Like you could make a bunch of different weapon styles and try them out. See what you prefer, see what fits well with the way that you like to play the game. I don't know,
they're already there too.
Yeah.
You can upgrade them, but you can get the starter one at any point of any weapon.
Crypto's asking if we've ever played Neverwinter. Did any of you guys ever play the Neverwinter games at all?
I have not.
I have. I played it for a little bit. I'm not a big fan of MMOs. I probably would play an MMO if we played it, like if I had, regular people to play with.
A consistent group, yeah. Oh, he's got a skull on his head. We can capture this one.
I don't have a shock trap, but I do have trank bombs.
Okay, I got a trap. I'll trap it. You get the trank bombs ready.
Alrighty.
I don't know. I don't think I ever played Neverwinter. No, I played some MMOs in my day, and my problem is I don't always play well with others. By that I mean actually, I really dislike people telling me how to play a game. So like, if it's one of those games where it's like, if you play it, like you have to have this particular type of build to your character, otherwise your character is not useful. You know what I mean? Like I can't deal with that. I love a free-flowing game, and that's why I like. Oh, he's trapped. If we got trank bombs, they'll toss them. Nice, we're done.
Sweet.
That's good. Good well done. So like, that's one of the reasons why I love like Fallout, Skyrim, all that. You know, you land in a game and then you just have free flow, do what you want to do. This game is pretty. It's not quite like open world, but this game is very much like you decide how you want to play this game. And that's one of the reasons I've really liked Monster Hunter a lot.
Yeah, and whatever combination you and the other people are playing, they all work pretty well together.
Exactly. Like, with the three of us, I know I can use the longsword quite a bit because, like, we're all just trying to deal damage and all. But, like, if Tyler were here and he was using his greatsword, which is very much a damage-dealing weapon, you know, I'd switch to the bagpipes and I'd try to throw down those buffs and those heals, you know, that sort of thing. It kind of just comes down to, like, you could play Monster Hunter World however you feel like playing it, and I like that. And that's one of the things about MMOs is that a lot of them, you know, unless you're building a character, a particular build, you just know it's not going to be as effective. And I hate that, and I can't deal with that very well.
Mm-hmm. I also the problem I have is there's just a point in the MMOs where when you're playing by yourself, you just can't play anymore. Everything's too hard, and you have to rely on random strangers to help you out.
Yeah.
And that's usually what, you know.
How've you been?
That usually was whenever I stopped playing.
I'm counting on you.
No, I'm right there with you on that. Right there with you. Oh, look at this pig. I catch this pig. I named this pig Batman. Do you gentlemen want to do one more hunt before we call it a night?
I'm down for that.
I can do that.
Alright. What, you got something good to post? You want me to find something?
One of y'all can find something, because I basically just have stuff we've already just followed.
Alex, you got anything?
Yeah, let me check. So I'm buying stuff from the Argosy.
Nice.
Smart.
Smart. Nice. Shout out to Brooklyn Nine-Nine for getting picked up by NBC. Oh, Crypto gonna sub me. Thank you. That's awfully kind. We haven't been putting up as many videos lately as we normally do on account of one person who runs this channel is an accountant and has been in tax season.
Yeah.
And then I have been, once he got done, I've been working 12-hour days since then, but hopefully summer we can turn that around. But appreciate that, Crypto. Brooklyn Nine-Nine picked up by NBC so that they're not going to die. Either of y'all watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine at all?
I do.
I do. I'm not caught up, but I do.
I love it. It's
I've
impressed
been really
me.
bad lately.
What?
Oh, I was saying I've been really bad lately about keeping up with shows that aren't on one channel.
The CW.
Yeah, I can keep up with those shows very easily, but if it's on any other channel, I cannot seem to watch it. Or know when it airs. Or anything.
Or
like that.
anything. There are 3 shows that I will watch on a weekly basis. And by I will watch, I mean my wife and I will watch together. Because otherwise I'm pretty much just going to watch sports. There are 3 shows, and I will let you two try to guess just any of those 3 shows that I watch on a weekly basis. That goes for you,
Legion.
Scott, Alex, and you, Crypto, since you're in the chat.
Well, I'm gonna guess Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think that might be an easy one to guess.
Yep, that's a good one. I actually kind of meant 3 shows other than Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I wasn't specific. That's on me. You get a point. You get a point for understanding that.
Current shows that are out now. Can we get any hints? Like, are they hour-long shows or are they 30-minute long shows?
Oh, here's the issue with that.
Are they on Netflix?
Okay, none of them are on Netflix.
Okay.
None of them are Netflix originals. Alex, did you post a quest or did you want me to?
I'm currently in the act. I'm trying to find ones that I have that aren't 2 people only.
Okay.
Alright, here we go.
Okay.
Posting it.
If there are 3 shows, I'll give you a hint. 2 of the 3 are hour long.
Okay.
1 of the 3 is 30 minutes.
Bob's Burgers.
Wow, you got one. Okay, Scott has a point. Alex, you got to try to guess one now. You actually got one, and
No,
that's
I guess. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's the one that I feel like most people will not get. Like Tyler and I were having this conversation the other day, and he got the other 2, but he did not get Bob's Burgers. You got any guesses, Alex? Also, Alex, do you watch Sword Art Online? Crypto asked that in the chat.
I watched the first series, I guess you would call it that. So like season 1, and then season 2 was just not enjoyable. And I know they've released, there's one being simulcast right now that's about a side character, or like it's a different character, same universe. That's supposed to be pretty good, but I did not like the second season. First season's great.
Okay, it's good enough. All right, Alex, can you guess one of the other 2 shows that I watch on a weekly basis?
I guess Legion.
You did? I didn't hear it. That's one. You got it.
'Cause, I mean, I watched the first season, and I was like, this is kind of boring. And then I started watching it, and I was like, this is good. And then I started watching the second season, and I was like, this is good. And then I started watching the third season, and I was like, this is good. And then I started watching the fourth season, and I was like, this is good. And then I started watching the fifth season, and I was like, this is good. And then I started watching the sixth season, and I was like, this is good. And then I started watching the seventh season, and I was like, this is good. And then I started watching the eighth season, and I was like, this is good. And then I started watching the ninth season, and I was like, this is good. And then I started watching the 10th season, and I was like, this is good. And then I started watching the 11th season, and I was like, this is good. And then I started watching the 12th season, and I was like, this is good. And then I started watching the 13th season, and I was like, this is good. Mostly because you were watching it before we started hunting. So I figured.
Okay, that's fair. I did text you guys, hey, before I start playing, Ellie and I need to watch Legion. Okay, that's fair. Well played. All right, there's
I like
one
how
more.
That didn't even come into my head.
There's one more though. But you got Bob's Burgers. You got Bobby's Burgers,
Well,
and you. All right.
Bob's
Yeah.
Burgers is a good show.
It is.
I like it. It has the same kind of humor, I would say, as Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So I figured you would enjoy it as well.
Yep. Fox hasn't canceled Bob's Burgers yet, though. That's the main difference.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're both on Fox. That's another reason why I was that. Other.
Crypto mentioned Naruto, and I feel the need to point out once again that I used to run a Naruto fan site about 13 years ago, before it was over in the U.S. And it was a surprisingly popular website.
And that was when you invented the podcast medium.
Yes. all stories that Tyler and I can tell on other SSD episodes. Which one are we going to target first, the Legiana or the Odegaard?
Let's go after this Legiana first.
Alright, when
Okay,
is that
so
one
that-
week to?
Think Thunder?
Fire.
Really?
No, I think you're right. I think it is Thunder.
Most things are weak to Thunder somehow. Yep, it's Thunder. I think I got my Thunder sword on. I'm going to double check that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so anyone got any clues about that last show that I watch on a weekly basis?
I'm gonna guess maybe This Is Us. I don't know. I would mostly guess that because I think maybe Ellie might like watching it, and so you'd watch it with her. Although I've never seen it at all or know anything much about it. But I think
That
it
is
is an
a-
hour-long show.
That is a good guess. It is incorrect, but that is a good guess. Oh man, Crypto's asking if I do any anime. Crypto, I wish you joined in at the first 20 minutes or so of this live stream because all we talked about was anime. Oddly enough.
So Crypto mentioned Naruto, but what else are you watching, Crypto?
Yeah, what are you watching, Crypto? That's the key here. You mentioned Naruto. You mentioned, of course, the classic of DBZ. And I'm also currently watching... Alright, I waited until they put a few episodes out before I started watching the Persona 5 animation on Hulu. Because I wanted to at least have a few episodes to watch all at once. Have you been pleased with it so far, Alex? Have you watched them all that are out so far?
Yeah, I have. I'm really liking it. I'm really, really looking forward to the English dub because I love the English cast. And it's tough to make that game. There's so much going on, and there's so many things you can do in that game, and it's tough to translate that to a show, but I think they're doing a really good job. And some of the changes they've made to fit the fact that it's a show, I actually really enjoy. So,
Yeah.
And that being said, I was gonna like it no matter what, but I really like it.
Yeah, we were going to be fanboys regardless. Crypto said that the three that he really loves are the three that he's mentioned so far. Sword Art Online, DBZ, Naruto. I watched all of the original I'm losing my voice apparently. The run of Naruto, and then of course they kind of did the storyline where all of them were a little bit older or whatever, and I didn't watch that. But I watched all of it when they were children. And I feel bad that I never finished the rest of the series. But... Whoops. We got these deer things that is hanging out on the side of the battlefield and don't care that we're fighting right now. They're totally cool with it. Why are you guys so calm?
Out of here.
I'm worried about them though. Well, no one has guessed the third show that I watch on a weekly basis.
I'm thinking, what?
I'll give you just a minute longer to think of it. But the moment that this Legiana decides to scream and fly off to another destination, I'm just revealing the answer.
Oh no, they're dead.
Uh-oh. Gentlemen, I think this thing's flying away. Nope. No, never mind. He just hates Alex. Yeah, he gone now. Alright, I need some guesses. Throw them out there.
I don't know what I can't think of anything that's an hour long. I'm really, like, I am way far away from knowing what's on television anymore.
I'm gonna skin these deer. Just gonna let you guys know that. Ooh, gross. I got a warm pelt out of it. That's disgusting. Alright, so you both admitting defeat here, or what?
I'm admitting defeat for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna admit defeat. I don't
Alright. Well, it's, it actually is. It's something I've mentioned on some, God, freaking Suzuki guy. He just shows up, he blinds everyone, and he runs away. Every time. Look at him, he's getting away right now. Every time. It's actually another FX show that I watch on a weekly basis. And I mentioned it on some other SSD streams. I think it's the best show on TV right now. I think Legion is one of the best shows on TV. Maybe top 2. But it's going to fit into my main crush on Donald Glover, and that's Atlanta.
How did we not think about that?
I think Atlanta is the best show on TV right now. Either Atlanta or Legion. They kind of bounce back and forth in my mind. But I love them both, and I watch them both. I don't... Almost I did.
Now, I have a question for you.
Hit me with it.
Have you ever given iZombie a shot?
I have not. I have not. Ooh, Crypto submitted a quick guess on the stream of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And that's a really solid guess. Because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a show that I keep up with, but I wait until the full season's on Netflix and then binge it all. But I do watch all of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It actually has become one of my wife's favorite shows on TV right now. Oh jeez, really? We're supposed to hunt him later, right?
Yep.
So no, Scott, I have not given iZombie a shot yet, but I have heard that I should. I've heard really good things about it.
It's probably my favorite show that I'm currently keeping up with. I'll tell you why. It's because it has that. It starts kind of off as a Monster of the Week kind of show.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always hold to that formula. I think it handles the non-main character, like the supporting characters. I think it handles their storylines well. Outside of, like things happen. And one thing that this current season, I'm sorry, I'm being distracted by a dog. This season is, I think, probably one of the best because it's not just a normal zombie show where it's actually tackling a lot of interesting ideas and that would happen if zombies were, real in the real world, and a city had been taken over by them. And they're not just mindless or they seem like they're people as well.
So it's kind of a. Isn't that? Are those? That's some of the positive things I think people said about the movie Warm Bodies, wasn't it? That it just was a unique take on what zombies would be like. Did either of y'all see that movie?
Yeah, I have. I've seen that.
Okay.
I'm not poisoned. I need to squirt. Yeah. Go away, please, no.
Oh, to Garon, man, he's being just such a jerk.
I'm fixing to die. I'm bleeding to death, and he won't leave me alone. Okay, I'm healed.
Okay, good. Crypto, I got a question for Crypto. I got two questions for Crypto. You said mine too. Is that a reference to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. being one of your favorite shows? Because I was skeptical about the show when it started, and then after I watched a couple seasons of it, I was like, oh man. Like, I enjoy this quite a bit, actually. And secondly, you mentioned your love of Jackie Chan, which is great. What is your favorite of those? Because I think I'm a big fan of the old school Legend of the Drunken Master is one of my favorite martial arts films ever. Scott, I feel like you've actually talked about iZombie to me before and mentioned those things about how, like, the story progresses well. Like, even when they're not blatantly moving along some of the, like, what'd you say, Monster of the Week stuff?
Right, there are episodes where there's a murder that happens, and they solve the murder within, like, the first 10 minutes of the episode, and then the rest of the episode is more about the lives of the people that are in the show. And, like, it's not even, it's not even, I'm sorry.
It's alright, it's not like we're in the middle of a fight or anything. It's not like we're trying to hunt this monster who's trying to kill us.
Yeah. Yeah, I've lost that train of thought. I'm not gonna get that one back.
That's fair. I think you summed it up already. Kind of the they do
and
the
more so.
It doesn't get formulaic, is what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. And more so this season has been just such a great. I mean, it's less Monster of the Week this season than it has been the entire season show. And I don't want to do spoilers because it's just spoilers for the previous seasons. So I really don't want to get into everything that's happening, but they've just it's a real. There's lots of real issues going on, and everyone, like each episode is just like, oh, people are just getting deeper and deeper into different factions, and it's incredible. And they were picked up for one more season, and then that's the last season of it.
Oh, just like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
But I will say, like, at least they get to. They'll be able to make a story and finish the story and not leave any kind of cliffhanger.
No, that's important.
I hate it.
That's really important. I hate it when when a show just gets canceled, it doesn't get a chance to even just like end anything at all. Just some sort of, even if it's a crappy ending, at least it gets a chance to end on its own terms.
Right. My favorite terrible ending to a show is the show True Calling.
Okay.
It's about, it stars Eliza Dushku, and she sees people's, how does it work?
Don't ask me, man. I didn't see it.
Someone dies, and then she goes back in time and relives the day, and she has to go and save them. And it got to...
I got a trap. You guys want me to throw a trap down?
Yeah, I got a bomb.
Alright, get those bombs ready. I'm gonna throw this trap. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Strap down.
Bow down.
So the
Sweet.
second season of it introduces a guy who's trying to keep her from saving people, and they become friends. Towards the last episode sets them up to there's like a team of good guys and then a team of bad guys that they don't know are bad guys, and it just ends. That's the last episode. Is that we're gonna take them down, and that's it.
Well, that's good.
You never know what happened.
Yeah, that's always disappointing. That's always disappointing. I'm always going to feel bad about some of the shows that I really liked that were canceled early on. I can't remember any of them now.
I'm gonna go change my weapon.
I'm really confused. Why is this... The scout flies are trying to take me a really random direction to get to the... where the Odegaron is. It's bizarre. I'm just gonna go to the southern camp.
Yeah, I went to the northern one, and I'm gonna change my weapon as well.
What do we need for the other guy?
He's weak to ice.
Ice, yes.
Aren't
And
we all deep down
paralysis.
inside? Idoclination says that we should trank a few times before we throw down the trap. What's the benefit of doing that? Idoclination, because I was told that you throw the trap down, and when it's trapped, it only takes like 2 tranks. I feel like to trap them at that point, but that's what I've noticed at least. I'm open to any and all suggestions, that's for sure. Grabbing another shock trap while I'm at the camp, gentlemen.
Now I'm gonna make some more trank bombs.
Crypto, I don't recall which one Who Am I is. I'll be honest with you. I feel like a bad fan. I don't recall that, but in recent years I've become obsessed with I've become obsessed with why am I drawing a blank on his name? It's frustrating. Man. Gosh, the actor's name. Who plays that role? He was in Star Wars, Rogue One. Oh well. I like that actor. Like him a lot. I don't think I've ever seen that Jackie Chan movie. I'm gonna have to look into that. Guys, I'm at the Odegaron. You want me to go ahead and just start swinging?
Yeah, I'm making my way down.
Pages passed. You homebound? You do, Titus.
Stop! No.
That dude is mad at you.
He's not gonna let me recover. Okay.
I see what you're saying now. So, Indoctrination says that if we throw the tranks before we throw the trap, then it'll already. Yeah, like it doesn't like. Basically, as soon as you throw the trap, it's trapped. What he's saying is that it just kind of reverses the order of things. Like we throw the trap, and then we throw the tranks, and try to and trap it like that. But what he's saying is that you could throw the tranks down first, then throw the trap.
I got you.
And it works the same way. I'm down to try that this time around, that's for sure. But we just gotta survive this freaking Odegaron first.
Yeah. I wouldn't even know. Great.
Yeah, we thank you for that.
My belly just love. It's like he thinks I speak.
Crypto, have a good night. Thank you for joining us. Hope you join us again on another live stream, especially if we do one of these discussion live streams and not just gaming. See you later. Hi Doc, I'm gonna throw like every trank I got at this fool. I'm gonna throw so many tranks that I trank myself before I even toss a trap down. I'm hardcore like that. Whoops. Oh, you good waste of a mega potion. My bad. I'm gonna blame that one on the whiskey coke I was drinking earlier. Oh good, oh good. Here comes our buddy Flash Bomb over here.
Come on.
He didn't flash anyone. He just kind of flashed in general. Oh yeah. Hey, I docked the nation. Oh god. And I flashed him in here. You play this game, what's your weapon of choice in this one? Obviously I gravitate towards the long swords on account of the slight samurai katana obsession that I've always had. But what do you play with? This freaking red dog up here. Longsword all the way. I knew I liked you. I knew I liked you. Starting to get the fatigue of the workday, boys. Let's get this thing down. Yeah! He on his back now. Don't even know. Official dog around don't even know. How do you guys pronounce this one? Because I tend to jump back and forth between Odegaron, which seems to make more sense, and Odogaron, which is more fun for me to say.
I think I say Odegaron. I usually call it something else. I'm very excellent.
It is. This is one of the, I feel like, more difficult enemies, mostly because of how quickly he maneuvers. I mean, look at all that.
Yeah. I bet he would do a little bit he was up there.
This guy was, yeah, he's totally a thief. You can tell. Doc the Nation says he just calls him Odo, which makes sense. I feel like an idiot now for not doing that. I noticed that this dude's got some skulls above his head here. You guys seen that?
I have not seen that.
Man, you need to get your tracking points up.
That's true, I don't really want to track much of anything for him since we fought him. But I will start dropping some pranks.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
He would just stand still for 2 seconds.
Might be something we have to wait until he's.
Yeah.
Or we just threw him away or something. Let's try it now while flash spotting him. Oh, his tail fell off. Look at his pawn.
Oh, he's asleep.
Oh, my bad.
Get him.
Nice.
Yeah, there we go. That worked out pretty well. Now I'm trying to trim this tail down.
I need to get the tail.
It looks like some material fell off too. Gotta find that.
Yeah, there's some material over there. Where's the tail? Oh, there it is. No! I didn't get any of that tail.
Oh. Yeah. We didn't really end up following the strategy that either we had or our Dockland Nation had. So we just kind of... But it worked. It worked out. And that was a good little hunt. I liked that one.
That was good.
None of us fainted, which is important because all of us suck at this game.
Yes.
So,
I'm glad I used a voucher for that one.
I did at one point almost ask, hey, did I faint this hunt yet?
I don't mean to brag, but I got 3 of those hunter highlights there. So, this has been a good little live stream, but I believe it is time to call it a night.
I agree.
Oh, big shouts out to really the only 2 viewers that were active in the chat, Crypto and Dockland Nation. But of course, big shouts out to you two, Alex, Scott, for hunting with me, making this a good live stream. Scott, anything you want to say before we close things out?
No, just good night, everyone.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Alex, how about you? Anything to close with?
Not really. Pretty tired now, but also good night, everybody.
I want to close with saying that Alex and I run a podcast for any North American fans of Liverpool Football Club. It's called You'll Never Talk Alone, YNTA Podcast on Twitter. Follow us there. Subscribe to the podcast if you want. Because as we get ready for the Champions League final very soon, I'm going to end on a beautiful shot of my character's pigtails and mustache. Dockland Nation, send me that friend request. We will play on Monster Hunter. We play on PS4 if that's what you're talking about. Gamer tag up here, my PSN name of Joe Crave, JoeCrave. Hit me up on there if you want. This has been a good hunting session, but I'm tired because I worked 12 hours today and I'm going to work more tomorrow. Calling it a night. Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next time.